This is the Frugal Gardener, and I am back in the garden. It's spring, and I wanted to show you guys what I was up to. So, stick with me. This is an epic fail. I grew potatoes, white potatoes, in this container over the winter, and they were doing quite well. A couple of nights ago, I left them out because the weather was warm. It was above 50, but it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it wasn't until it was too late that I realized I neglected to put drainage in this container. I don't buy very many new containers for gardening. I recycle the old ones, and when I recycled this one, I did not put any drainage holes. So as you can guess, my potatoes didn't make it. So I intend to rectify that by replanting. I opened by showing you these guys because every year I buy potatoes to plant. These are the Russian banana potatoes that are new this year, and you have these guys here. However, a lot of people are gardening on a budget, and so I wanted to show you this. These are potatoes that I brought from Sam's Club, and this one I held on to for obvious reasons. Look at the eyes. Now, a lot of people will tell you shouldn't plant this because you don't really know where it came from. It's not certified organic. You don't know if there were chemicals or not. But some people can't afford to buy these potatoes. So, if you're in a pinch and you have these potatoes that have not been stunted or sprayed so that they won't sprout or won't grow, you can plant something like this, which is what I'm about. Well, I don't usually make the same mistake twice, so excuse me. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I wanted to show you what I did. Basically, this is from last year. It's just basically vines and twigs that have dried up. Started using these a few years ago because one of the most common mistakes, or at least I think one of the most common mistakes people make when they grow potatoes is that the soil gets compacted. If your soil is compacted, it makes it more difficult for your potatoes to grow. So sometimes I use straw, but because this is part of my Buy It or Build It series, I am going to use what I have. So I put that in. I'm going to cut this potato up, put this potato on top, and I'm going to add some soil to the top of that. Now there's 50 different ways you can do this. A lot of people do it different ways. This is just my way. So, not saying that other people's methods are wrong. I'm just saying this works for me. Now I normally leave these to what they call cure. You want like a scab or something on here, but I have a lot to do. It's spring, and sometimes, like today, I just put them into the container. The important thing to remember is that you want this side up. You want the eyes facing up. So I did that pretty much where I could. And now you want to add enough soil on the top to cover them. I have about 10 inches on the bottom. So I'm going to basically just cover these now. The last thing I like to do is sprinkle a little Epsom salt over the top of the soil. You don't have to. Epsom salt is, I guess, what, maybe $2, and it will give it a hit of magnesium. It will help the outer get on your potatoes, the walls of your potatoes. And other than that, you just water it. You don't want to soak it. This time of year, it's important to remember not to leave your potatoes out if it gets too cold. I have a garage, so I'm fortunate. So if the temperature drops at night, if it's going to drop down into the 40s or the 30s, I just drag it inside. It's not very heavy, and we are in spring. It's just after Easter, so we're not going to have very many cold days. As a matter of fact, it's going to be in the 70s all week. Potatoes like it between 50 and roughly 75 degrees. So that's it. This is another buy it or build it episode where it doesn't cost you a lot of money. Basically, you buy potatoes anyway, at least most people do. And if you can find the type that sprout, and if you don't have the money to buy organic, this is an alternative you might want to consider. So this is the Frugal Gardener. If you have any questions or comments, place them below. I'll have another video up shortly. And I want you guys to remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Have a great day.